Hello there, Michael here. So what I'm going to do here is give you a warm-up that you can do, and it doesn't really matter what level of playing you're at, or if you're an acoustic guitar player or an electric guitar player, or both, as I would always suggest to you. The good thing about this is it gets your fingers working in different configurations. It's not just maybe some kind of boring exercise, it sounds musical. Okay, so what it's called is a G major scale sequence, and we're going to use something called thirds to play through it. So let's check it out. So it sounds very musical and expressive and quite classical in a way. Now all that's happening is when I say the word thirds, all I'm talking about is the interval between one note and another, or physically the distance that your fingers are going to travel. So I'm using this 3-note per string version of G major, by the way. Let me just review that with you. Okay, I would suggest you try this out because it's very good actually for all your fingers. Now, first note in the scale is our G note here. Now, what we're going to do is not play the next note in the scale, skip it out, but play the one after it. And what that is called is a major third interval. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's no big deal, but instead of playing the second note in the scale, you're going to play 1 and 3. And as you can see, especially if you're on the acoustic, it's going to really stretch the hand out. So, it goes 1, 3, or fret 3 and 7 in this case, then you do go to the next note in the scale. So you're effectively starting again. So this is the second note in the scale, but we're not going to go for that third note. Skip it out and find the next one, which is actually called the fourth note in the scale. So hopefully you'll start to see a pattern going. Then we get to the third note in the scale, and then we'll skip out that one we did previously, but go to the next one. And you're getting all these different configurations between your fingers and a good stretch going. I'm going to keep going now. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. And that actually plays all the notes in the scale, and then we'd keep going and restart. Now you've got the tab there in a demonstration of me doing it, but I'm going to go through the whole scale now, talking you through what fingers to use, okay? So use finger 1, then 4 for this part. Next note, use your middle finger, and first finger for that next part. Then you're using your little finger, and middle finger. Then back to how you started really. First finger and fourth finger. Next note in the scale. Using your middle finger there. And that's a first finger on 4th fret of the D string. So I'll review all that. The next note we have is 7th fret of the A string to 5 on the D string, then 4 on the D string to 7 on that same string. So I'll help you out with this next little section where the scale kind of recurs in the next octave, just because some of the finger arrangements might not be obvious to you. So 5 on the D with your middle finger, to 4 on the G with your first finger, back to 7 on the D, 5 on the G with little finger and second finger, 4 and 7 on the G string with first and fourth finger. And then this next bit, I'm going to suggest you use something called a finger roll technique. You're doing 5 on the G and B, so same fret on adjacent string. And what I want you to do is just develop this kind of finger collapse, finger roll thing. See how that knuckle collapses there? So I'm kind of already touching that next string with the back of my finger. And then I just let it totally collapse onto it. Then 5 on the B, down to 7 on the G. Then do another roll to the 7 on the B again. Like that. And that's the next note you want, 5 on the B string. Then 7, 8 on the B string, so you've got little and third finger there. Then 5 on the high E, and your little finger is at 8 on the G string there. Then 7 and 5 on the high E. Then we would just start again from that high E string and come down the scale. Now, this might not be so obvious how to do it, so we'll help you through all this. So that's what we got to start with, that shouldn't be too bad. Then 7 on the high E to 8 on the B with third and fourth finger. Then 5 high E to 7 on the B with first and third finger. Then little finger 8, first finger 5 on the B string. Then we got a roll coming backwards, 7 on the B to 7 on the G. Same again, but this will be at fret 5 on both strings, and use your first finger to kind of back up like a reverse roll. Then 7 to 4 on the G. Then 5 on the G to 7 on the D. Then 4 on the G to 5 on the D. 7 to 4 on the D. That'll be 5 to 7 from D to the A string. 4 on the G string to 5 on the A string. 4 on the D string. Then we're on the A string now, 7 to 3. 5 on the A. To 7 on the low E. Then 3 to 5. And then 7 to 3. So let me just go through that backwards for you slowly. There's the roll. Another one. There we go. So whatever kind of guitar player and whatever music you're into, that's really useful, and your fingers will certainly feel stretched and warmed up after you've done that. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for some more videos in the future. Cheers.